Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your October 2025 reading. My name is NiJiLL, and you have found Alchemy. I don't know if you watched your fall 2025 reading. I'm hoping you did. These were pre-pulled from that reading. As promised, we re-pulled them, and now we're building a reading around them. I do invite you to listen to that because, even if you just listen to the October segment, which honestly, the whole reading was pretty short, but I go into a lot more details with these cards. I go through each little piece of symbolism that's on them, but I'll summarize this so you either don't have to watch it right this second, or if you did watch it and you just don't remember, you'll have a refreshed memory. Okay. Okay, with that said, let us go. You have, my friend, wow, you have the Seven of Wands. And as I did go into a lot of detail about this particular card because this is a massive deck, not only massive in size, but massive in the amount of cards that are present. And there are two Seven of Wand cards, and I put both of them up on the screen and I explain the differences. But, for simplicity's sake here, this is a fire card, and that is all it is in this particular deck. There's no astrological correspondence. And this is defending yourself, right? Feeling assertive about it too, like actively defending yourself against something or being sort of on your guard and fiery, definitely fired up about something here. And yeah, so you have that, and you do have the card of detachment here. This definitely does remind me of Aquarius because I am an Aquarius, and definitely we have been known to be a little icy and detached at times. At least it's rumored. But in any case, you do have the detachment card. So you may be actively detaching from something. You may be actively defending yourself or on guard about something here. Yeah, you do have here. Wow. So you have the Hanged Man. Now it's coming back to me. You have the Hanged Man here. And as you can see in this deck, you see all the symbolism, you see all the animals. I go into each little piece of symbolism in the other reading, but the only thing I want to rehash a little bit is the fact that there is a dragonfly hanging upside down. It's a fairy, I guess, but the fairy is in the shape of a dragonfly. The symbolism is very heavily laden Pisces energy, even in this deck. And obviously the Hanged Man is a new perspective, so you're seeing something differently. But the dragonfly in particular is a transition from water to air. So it's something you may have felt emotional about, or maybe feeling emotional about this month, that you go from that to detachment. You go to that right back to that air. So there may be something that gets you. It's kind of like a gotcha thing here, Aquarius. But it says it is water to air because dragonflies make a transition from water to air themselves. The other animals that are symbolized, I'm not going to go into, but if you're interested, listen to that other reading. You do have here the 10 of Cups in reverse, and the 10 of Cups is Neptune and Pisces energy. And this is definitely what you thought you wanted, it no longer serves you. You've changed your mind about what you felt. There was something that you thought would make you happy, or something and there is something that is definitely you're detaching from, or you're wanting to detach from. You do have here the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is Venus and Aquarius energy, and this is another defensive card, right? So you have the Five of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. That's very defensive energy. Especially for you, Aquarius, you are defending. It could be you're defending your opinion, you're defending your decision, you're defending yourself against something or someone else, but you are actively detaching from something. And you do have here the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter fixed energy, for sure. All the fixed signs are on here, including Aquarius, and it is Jupiter. It is the Wheel of Fortune turning. An old pattern here is being challenged. And it's being broken, but it's being broken by you. So this is something that has been a pattern in your life, or something that has just the grind went on and on. You are looking to. I don't even think you're looking to do it. I think you break it this month. There is some sort of, you're detaching from it. Okay. When we add this when we add this up from your fall reading and we break it down, we get Saturn energy, which is one of your ruling planets, Aquarius and Capricorn. This is a hard-earned lesson. Right? You've learned a lesson about something here for sure, Aquarius. So now that we've rehashed that, let's get on with your overview. So up here you have your overview, and then down here, over here you have your thirds, but we'll get into that. You have sublimation, rising above. So you have The sublimation card number 68 in this deck, elevating, rising. What happens when a bird flies way above and looks down? That bird has a greater perspective of the area. And that's you with this hanged man energy, rising above something, perhaps getting emotional. Perhaps this is something that had you emotional momentarily. It had you emotional maybe even before this, but you decide to do what Aquarians are great at. You fly all the way up. You say, okay, logically, what am I seeing? You see something from a different perspective and you sort of take it from there. And I think that the next thing you plan to do is this. That's just what it seems so far. You do have this earth energy. This is number 8 in this deck, and this is very grounding energy. Very grounded. You're feeling very grounded. Once you rise above and you take flight, it grounds you. It grounds you back into a more comfortable situation for yourself. But I have to tell you, the timing is going to be everything, right? It says it's all in the timing right now. Pull another card to see if you need to do it right now. Wait a while. I'm not going to do that because we have a whole reading here. Or make a different decision. So there is a decision at hand here. But the timing is going to be important. Timing is going to be important. You do have here... Dare to dream. Now, this card in this reading really is telling me that you need to move past what you originally thought you were capable of. There may be something that you were going after where you felt, well, this is all I can do. But Spirit is trying to tell you to dare to dream. Think bigger. Think bigger for yourself. Because not only do you deserve more, okay, Aquarius, you can get more. It's not even just that you deserve it. Spirit is telling you, just think bigger and you'll get more. Okay? Think past your limitations. And these limitations are coming from you. I mean, they may have been implanted by someone else for sure. But you may be detaching from an old pattern of seeing yourself in a very limited way. Because here you have Earth. You have Earth energy again. So you have Earth in this deck and Earth in this deck that came out. I'm really glad I do the shuffling on right on camera, so you can see it. You could go and absolutely rewatch it and slow it down, and you can see that these cards fell out by themselves. And it does say, it says it helps you tune into Earth's energy, material things, strong foundations, fertility, stability, grounding energy. And it says, go into nature and allow the Earth's energy to flow into your body and reset, regain emotional stability. Remember I said there was something here that was making you emotional, at least initially, that you decide to ground yourself through another, you gain a new perspective and you ground yourself back into that beautiful Aquarian energy. You have sextile. And it says harmony, ease, and compatibility. This is really what you're looking for. I do think that you're going to attain it this month. It looks like there's stuff that goes on. We'll figure that out. And you have descendant, attraction, relationships, partnerships. This could have something to do with you detaching from a partner. And that partner doesn't have to be a love partner. It absolutely can be. You could have a partnership with your job, a partnership with your boss, a partnership with, someone in your family. This could be a pattern that you've over and over again have done. It could be a romantic partner, but it could be a job that you're detaching from or that you'd like to detach from. But, my advice to you here when you pull this descendant card is to find out your descendant sign. You have a rising sign, ascendant, and you have a descendant sign. And listen to a reading or several based on the descendant sign for further advice. The interesting thing is, for example, I am an Aquarius sun and I am a Leo rising. So my descendant is going to be Aquarius. So I'm going to have an Aquarius sun and a descendant Aquarius as well. So the opposite of Leo, which is my rising sign, is Aquarius. So if you want to do a really quick Google search, if you're not sure, if you're not really up on all this stuff, just look at your rising sign, whatever it is, and say, what's the opposite sign to blah, blah, blah. And you'll find out your descendant. And your descendant is going to be powerful for you this month. I would definitely look at that. Now you have these charms. And what's interesting is they came in reverse. And when I say reverse with the charms, it just means upside down. But all of them are upside down. And these are hidden matters. And it doesn't have to be anything nefarious. This is just stuff that you're not aware of, that you may not be aware of. Okay. Number one, there is a snake here. Okay. the snake is shedding, in my opinion, it's the snake is shedding a skin. You are shedding a skin. You are meant to shed a skin. You have something else here. It says be brave. So you have bravery here on tap, and you also have never give up. So you have this Seven of Wands attitude where you're not going to give up. You have this follow your dreams, dare to dream. There is something that you shouldn't give up on. Don't give up on it. There is something here that could really make you a different kind of successful if you only dare to dream. So I honestly might entitle this video Dare to Dream. Shed a skin here, Aquarius, for sure. It does pay to mention that with the snake, we are in the year of the wood snake, right? It's Chinese astrology. And the snake is also representative of Scorpio. So you could have a Scorpio slithering around in your life. There's that. Okay. So here are your 3 legs. And, you know, I break your month up into thirds. And yes, they can perfectly come in order for many people, but they could also come out of order because we know tarot is not a science and it's going to be different for each Aquarius. And so with your first leg, you did pull difficult times. You pulled a couple of cards that looked hard. So I pulled a couple of extra cards from a different deck. All right, that's why this looks a little bit crowded. So let's start from the beginning here, okay? You have, wow, that's interesting. You do have the water card, right? And this is the element of water. Now look at this card. What did I say? It was over here, right? Where you were going from water, the dragonfly, from water to air. So this is the emotional part of your month right here. Here is the emotion that you're maybe not, I don't know. It's a lot of people can deal with emotions really well. I think Aquarius deals better in logic. And when you're forced to feel things in a way that you feel is not contributing to an answer, you start to get frustrated or upset. Here you have some frustration, difficult times to say the least, right? Emotional upheaval are foretold. That's exactly what this card says. So you have some emotional thing going on here. And you may feel, at least temporarily, a little bit off center. Now here you have these are my tarot tiles, by the way. And this is the Judgment card in reverse. And the Judgment card is Pluto Scorpion energy. You may have blurred judgment at this time. On this leg, because you're feeling emotional and because the emotions aren't productive, your judgment may be a little askew, okay? Stay swordsy, or at least come back to us here, Aquarius, right? You do have here the Knight of Swords coming in right after that. Now, the Knight of Swords in the upright here, is Uranus and Gemini energy, very impulsive. Guard against impulsivity stemming from this feeling. Whatever it is you're feeling, let it move through you, rise above it, go see it from a different perspective, and then release it. Do not act impulsively based on this, because that would be a mistake. You do have here the 7 of Cups in reverse. That is Moon in Scorpio. And I like that because, at least in this particular deck, it's a return to reality, right? So you rise above it, you see things from a new perspective, and you come back down to us. You come back to us here, Aquarius. I like that. You do have the Fox, and it says shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. But whether this is business or something very personal, I did pull a few cards to try to get to the bottom of it, and the cards were not specific in that way. It did not tell me whether this was a relationship that was causing this or a work situation that was making you very emotional. But I have to tell you, whatever it is, you do become resourceful with yourself. I think you may start out feeling a certain way, going through this emotional upheaval, and then you say, okay, I'm better than this. Different perspective time. You did pull these 2 cards, and one of them is Temperance, and one of them is the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And I like both these cards for you because we know that this is the card of Sagittarius, but this is also the card of the Alchemist. And what did we just say? Basically, everything we just said pointed to alchemy, right? You took one thing and you made it into another. You took all this water, you took all these difficult times, you poured it from cup to cup, and boom, you became the Aquarius we know and love. You came up with your own medicine, okay? And you released what you had to release. We know that the Four of Pentacles is holding on real tight to something, and when it comes in reverse, you are definitely removing it. The Four of Pentacles is Saturn and Capricorn energy. Releasing something. Releasing, I really believe, that emotional upheaval so you can think clearly. Okay, when we add this up and we break it down, Aquarius, we get Mars, we get Aries energy. Mars is going to be in Scorpio. My Mars is in Scorpio, by the way. I don't know why. I'm just very proud of that for some reason. It's probably the bane of my existence, but I really enjoy that about my chart. Mars is going to be in Scorpio in October, and that causes power struggles, and you may be having power struggles with someone, and maybe this is causing these difficult times. You realize very quickly that emotions have no place here, that you need to think more logically to get to the bottom of what would help you, and that is very, very good energy, Aquarius. Let's look at leg number 2. Leg number 2, you have the manifestor. So you go from being the alchemist to manifesting. And I love that for you. You got that manifesting energy with the magician. Magician is, to me, Aquarian energy. Some people say it's Gemini. And, you know, there are some people that will say it's Aries too. And I just don't see that. I don't personally see that. But you have here, you have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Mercury and Taurus energy in reverse. This is recovery from something. Recovery from a hardship, overcoming something, either financial or otherwise, but you're overcoming it with that Five of Pentacles in reverse. And here you have the Seven of Swords coming in sideways, especially in this deck. I don't know if you can see these tiles, but you can see how it's like a strategy. So you're strategizing. You're trying to figure out what the hell to do. My sideways cards are always decisions, right? Trying to strategize something, trying to decide how to strategize it, how to proceed, but you're alchemizing, you're manifesting, and I love that, especially coming from these difficult times here. And you have the Lovers coming in hot and heavy. You have Gemini energy. And what's great about this is that it's the Lovers could be a relationship that's coming in very strong. It could be a decision about a relationship. It could just be a very strong decision. I think it's a choice, a decision with lasting consequences. And I do think it's positive based on all this other energy that we're seeing with it. And I'll explain that in a minute. You have personal riches here. It says small successes are likely now and bigger ones are on the way. Finances could improve dramatically, but avoid get-rich-quick schemes. I do think this has something to do, even if this is about a relationship, ultimately it's going to affect your finances. You do have bridge. It says successfully, here you go, successfully overcoming a problem. I'm really happy to see that because you went from these difficult times to overcoming a problem. And that's really good. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Pluto. Oh man, Pluto is really doing us dirty. Yeah, but I have a feeling that even though it's doing us dirty in many, many ways, it's for our own good. I mean, people say that, but I really do. I am believing it at this point. But you do have Pluto energy here, that kaboom, right? Death and rebirth energy. You have Scorpion energy all over this leg. Okay, you have the Tower. Let me see. Wow. So here it is. You have the Tower, and the Tower is Aries, Mars energy. Some people do believe this is Pluto. There are some people that believe it's Pluto/Scorpion energy. But I do think that this Tower is positive, and it's basically based on me glancing at the other cards here. But you have something positive, something necessary, and there's freedom from limitations. Kaboom! Something has blown up. Maybe it didn't feel good, but it's leading you into a better place here because you have here the Page of Swords. And in this deck, you see how that's very communicative? You see how there's a microphone? And so in this particular deck of cards, the Page of Swords is, especially on its sideways here, it's deciding about something that you have received. You've received a message, right? It's either a verbal communication, an email, it's some kind of message you receive. Okay, you're processing it. It's on its side. You're processing it, and here you have the Six of Swords. You see the passport in the picture? Usually the Six of Swords is, you know, a boat with swords in it, but definitely heading somewhere. Now, could it be a passport? Could it be you traveling? Of course it could. It also could be you just setting sail for a new location, a new life, I mean, listen, from the Tower, right? It's a new life, right? The Tower isn't the last card in the tarot deck, and there's a reason for that, because there's a story that comes after the Tower, and there it is. You have the Six of Swords, and here you have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Now, with this Ace of Swords in reverse, it's a breakthrough that comes from within, right? That sword is pointing right inside, and you are hyper examining. Maybe it's all this decision making you're doing, but you find yourself in a different place after this Tower occurs, and you start to see the smoke clear. And that's when we know who our friends are. That's when we know who our real family is. That's how we know who we can trust. And here you go. You know, anytime I pull this card, this is a card that tells me that I am going to be surrounded by loyalty, by true family, true friends. You're going to, even if it's two people, even if it's one person, this is real stuff. All the bullshit just got exposed, buried, leveled. Here you have positive work outcomes. Consistent efforts will bring rewards, and a major purchase is worth making. Interesting. So you have some positive work outcomes coming from this. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things here on the table that are pointing to something very positive coming after this. Okay? And it sort of goes with everything we said up here, that new perspective, right? That going from water to air. That's exactly what you did here. You went from water to air. When we add this up and we break it down, we get the number 5, which is Mercury. And there it is, a communication. What did we say? A communication comes in, and you are trying to decide how to interpret that communication. Here in your challenges, you have the Princess. Let me see if I can move this here. You have the Princess of Pentacles coming in sideways. In this deck, the princesses are basically pages, okay? So you have this Princess of Pentacles, Mercury and Taurus energy, trying to decide, because it's sideways, about a situation about money. Now, this is your challenge column. Trying to decide all these decisions, a situation about money. You have here look, you have the Empress coming in reverse. This is Taurus, Libra energy. More than that, it's Venusian. Venus is our love. Hold on one second. Venus is our love, but it's also our money. And this situation is not fertile. There's something not fertile here. This could also represent a maternal figure in your life that has gone a little, that's just not, there's this situation for at least some of you could have something to do with a maternal figure in your life. Why do I say that? Because you did pull the older woman card. So, and you also pulled the Empress in reverse. Here, the Empress's classic mother card. So this could be someone's mother. That is sort of a problem here, but you do have the King of Cups. And, you know, this, don't forget, is your challenge. This is your challenge column, and the King of Cups is Sun in Scorpio. Male or female, right? Yeah, balancing emotions could be a challenge. Balancing emotions could at least initially be a challenge. There's some sort of older woman involved in this situation, man. I don't know whether this is someone in your family, someone in a close person's family, or an older woman boss, or like there's some sort of older woman involved in this. Okay, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter. That's Sagittarius energy. So this is absolutely some growing pains here on the table. Let's look at your opportunities here, Aquarius. You have the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords is Moon in Libra energy. You can clearly see that Libra sign right there on the card. And, you know, it's a chance that as an opportunity, you're going to have a chance to pause, Hanged Man, reflect, and make an important decision. That is an opportunity that you're going to have. And this leads you into another 2 card, the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is Jupiter and Capricorn energy. Jupiter and Capricorn energy, a chance to adapt, to be resourceful, to show talent for doing so, for balancing things, for juggling. while you make this decision, it seems like you're able to do a lot of things at once, a lot of balls in the air. You do have the 10 of Wands as an opportunity. Now, when this comes out in your opportunity sector, right? This is a chance to work really hard, but work that you're going to love. This is hard work for a reason. You know how when some people have to work really hard, sometimes we do, we get up every day, we do the grind, we're exhausted, we're hollowed out, we're working our butts off, and we're just not happy. And then there's other kinds of work where you're working your butt off, and man, you're getting somewhere. You feel like you're being charged, energized. You're like, wow, this feels good. So it's that kind of situation that you're moving into. And you do have the bat, and it says take care. Oh, it does say enemies are working against you. I wonder if it has something to do with this older woman. But therein lies an opportunity. Plus the bat, right? The bat is definite Leo energy, by the way. But the bat is letting go of something in lieu of something else, like transition. Also, the bat uses sonar instead of eyesight. So rely less on what you can see this month and more of what you feel. You're going to look at people and feel certain things, and you're going to be on the money. So go with what you feel rather than what you actually see with your own eyes. There is some sort of maternal or older woman energy here that might be working against you in the background. I don't know what that is, but apparently it's not going to stop what's happening. It's not going to stop what's happening for you. There's all kinds of positive things happening for you. Let me see if I can grab another deck. You're always the first reading I do of any particular month, and I'm never prepared. Hold on one second. Let's do this. Use these cards. Close out the reading for Aquarius, please. Whoop. Aquarius, this isn't supposed to be here, but you know what? I'm going to take it. It says nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. Nothing is set in stone, Aquarius. You have decisions to make about this month. You have decisions to make. Think beyond the walls that you have created for yourself. There's something that is there waiting for you to work on it, and that work is going to pay off. Grace. Now, well, you may not know, but from my readings anyway, with this particular deck, when they come in reverse, this is something that's going to come to you naturally. And you have grace here, and it says, grace, blessing, come to me to set me free. You're going to be granted a blessing this month, okay? And that is number 20 in this deck. But more than that, you're going to be granted something. Look for it here. Let's do your numbers and see what happens there. Okay, we add all the numbers up in this reading and we break them down. We get Venus. Venus is love, but Venus is also money, career, things like that. It's your money, it's your riches, it's your money, and it's your love life. So it could be all those things or one of those things. The number that came out the most here was number 5, which is Mercury, and it's that message. You're going to be receiving a message. We talked about that a few times here, right? The sign that came out the most, believe it or not, was Venus. I'm pretty sure Gemini. Yeah. So there are two signs that came out the most. One was Gemini, one was Taurus, which is Venus and Mercury. So you have Mercury, which is doubling. Their spirit is doubling down on Mercury. That message that comes in is key. The timing is very key. Venus, another very key thing. The planet that came out the most, Mercury again, tripling down, ×3. I'm telling you, there's no retrograde this month, no Mercury retrograde anyway. So that is a message that is going to come in that changes you, that either makes you, this could be the thing that comes in that makes you very emotional. But you are going to come back down to earth here, Aquarius, for sure. I wish you nothing but the best. Look for the grace. Look for the grace. Namaste and happy Samhain.